Welcome back, everybody, to Buzzed In. I'm your host, Relix.
Hi, everybody. I'm Juice.
Finally, you made it on.
I did.
One of the show's co-hosts I told you all about that we've been excited to get on. He is on now, episode 3. I guess that's not too bad.
Yeah.
And I don't know, actually, I think I did. No, this is legit episode 3. I didn't count the intro episode as one. This is the third podcast. I'm super excited to have you on this one because we have some good stories. There wasn't a ton of huge things to talk about, so at least we'll be able to talk a little bit.
Yeah.
So thanks to everyone who checked out the second video. I got a ton of feedback. And if you gave me feedback, you know who you are. It was all critical. It was all honest, and I really appreciate that. And here we are with the third installment of Buzzed In, and we're all staying buzzed in. Most of you saw this on the social media pages you follow. This is the official Buzzed In mug.
I'm super jealous.
We will be getting Juice one. And then maybe later on down the line, whenever we sell stuff, we'll maybe print these out and people can get them. I know Trenton asked me for one already.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to start it off by introducing Juice a little bit to everybody. So before I even let him tell you all a little bit about himself, we're going to do some psychological quiz on him that you guys may or may not have heard or seen before. So, Juice, give us your favorite animal. Now, you can't say dog or cat because you love your dog or cat.
Right.
It has to be an animal you admire.
Shark.
A shark.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Should it be a specific type of shark?
No, that's
Okay,
fine. I think that's okay.
Right.
Because a lot of people wouldn't know the difference between sharks anyways.
Yeah.
I know I don't. Give us 3 adjectives to
why
describe
I like
a shark.
Okay,
No. To describe a shark.
Strong.
Okay.
Agile.
Okay.
Uh,
The best thing about this is you may know, some of you, he has no clue on why, like what this all is going to mean here in a second. So this is my favorite part.
It's going to have something to do like, this is what you think about yourself.
It's when they give me adjectives.
Quick.
We just had a huge audio spike.
That was
Strong, agile, and quick. Okay. Favorite article of clothing?
hat.
You got to be specific with the article. That hat?
A baseball hat.
I know it's that hat. Tell me it's that hat.
Yes,
I know
it's this hat.
Okay, it's that hat. We'll probably see it a lot here on the show.
Yeah.
All right. 3 adjectives to describe that hat. That hat specifically.
Smelly.
This is the best.
Blue.
Okay.
And
I'll give you that one. On the rest of the adjectives and the favorite body of water, try to stay away from colors. I tell people that all the time.
I got you.
But we'll take blue for that hat because it's kind of hard to describe it.
Smelly, blue, and big.
Big
Got
hat.
a big old head.
Alrighty. Favorite body of water. Now, you don't need to give me the Mississippi River, but I just need to know if it's a river, ocean, lake, pond, pool. It can be anything.
Ocean.
Ocean.
Yeah.
Okay. And 3 adjectives to describe the ocean.
Vast.
Okay.
Blue. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No.
Deep.
Okay.
And beautiful. Say that.
Beautiful. That's interesting. That's almost brought a tear to my eye. Okay. We have your results here.
Okay.
Before we even get into it, the first 2 results will be all age appropriate. The third result, cover your kids' ears for.
Oh, gosh.
For the first result, your favorite animal, you told us it was a shark. Asked you for 3 adjectives. You told me strong, agile, and quick.
Okay.
They say, this is an actual psychological thing, they say that your favorite animal and the way you think to describe it is how you perceive yourself.
Oh, my God.
So you hit that right on the nail. So strong, agile, and quick. And I've never seen you lift weights. I don't know how strong you are.
I don't.
But I can tell you're definitely agile and quick. I've seen you run bases on a baseball diamond. So that's fact.
Okay.
So you hit that right on the head. Favorite article of clothing, you said hat. We said specific, you said that hat.
How's this translate?
The 3 adjectives you gave me were smelly, blue, and big.
Okay.
Your favorite article of clothing and the way you describe it is supposed to tell people, or it's supposed to mean how others perceive you.
There we go.
So others perceive you as smelly, blue, and big.
You know, you can't win them all.
You're definitely tall. I wouldn't say big. You're definitely tall.
Okay.
Favorite body of water. Cover your kids' ears.
All right.
Okay, favorite body of water, you said ocean. The 3 adjectives you gave me were vast, deep, and beautiful. And that is supposed to mean how you feel about sex.
Okay.
Vast,
sounds about
deep,
right.
and beautiful.
That sounds perfect.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
We'll leave it at that because we may have some underage listeners.
Yeah.
So you go. He perceives himself as a shark. Others perceive him as smelly, and he perceives sex as beautiful.
Uh-huh.
All right, we're back to age-appropriate content. So we got a psychological deep dive without you knowing really what we were saying. Now, tell us just a couple of quick things about you, hobbies, interests, where you were born, stuff like that.
Well, I was born in Columbus, Ohio here. Big Buckeye fan. But I'm a dad. That's a cool thing. I do dad things. But I really don't. I mean, I like to play sports. I like to watch sports. Mostly baseball. As Kevin said, I play as well. So yeah, I mean that's really it. I don't really do much else, to be honest with you.
Right.
I'm a boring guy, and I smell too. So
that's cool. And you like doing shows and podcasts and stuff this.
Yeah. I actually used to do my own podcast back in the day.
I was on it a couple of times.
You were on that as well. So yeah, it's nice to get back into this. I really missed it. So
yeah, and obviously I'd love doing stuff like this. I was on your podcast for a little bit, and then I had a stint on Periscope. Where I did that thing, and that actually got pretty big. So I love stuff like this. So we're excited to have you on. Now you all know a little bit, probably more about Juice than you would want to.
Yeah.
I love that kind of stuff. So that being said, let's get into one of our first stories. And we actually have them on your phone.
I wanted to.
Because I didn't want the Mac to mess up and be in the middle of both of us. So one of the first stories we had.
Now this was sort of a big story I thought was cool that me and you both thought were actually kind of cool. I thought, and it's something that you don't really get to see. You don't see too much outside. You don't get to really see this stuff happen often because being like a sports fans like we are.
Right.
You don't really get to see this kind of stuff. It doesn't get like broadcast everywhere.
Right.
But occasionally stories like this come along, and it's really cool to look at. Like just the other day, I seen LeBron James give a pair of shoes to some kid, and I thought that was really cool.
Right.
But this particular story is about he's an NBA basketball superstar. His name is Luka Doncic. He's from Slovenia, which is over in like Germany, near Germany and stuff like that. But he got to meet a kid who has a rare muscle, like disorder and stuff.
Right.
That the treatment he had to get done cost like $2.1 million.
I saw that, and he helped raise a ton of money.
It was him and other like Slovenian celebrities.
Because
the kid is from Slovenia as well.
Right.
Same as where Luka Doncic is, and pretty much they helped raise this money. It was like $2.3 million that they raised for this kid to get this treatment.
Yeah, and so as you guys can see the picture of him meeting the kid, I think it was at a game, right?
Yeah.
And he's holding him. Yeah, that's a cool picture, man. It's cool that they were able to get that much raised, and you see more and more. I talked about it a little bit on the last episode with Post Malone and J.J. Watt's huge on it. You see a lot of celebrities starting to put their efforts towards stuff like that. And it's really cool because it's not everyone expects celebrities or sports stars or anything like that just to hand out the money that they've earned, which they do, and they should share some. But I think they're able to raise much more than they're even able to give by doing stuff like this, and I think it's really neat.
Exactly, and like when you said about that whole like the J.J. Watt and the Post Malone thing, what was it? A couple years ago, the hurricane that hit Texas and stuff. I can't remember the name of it, but was it Harvey or something? Yeah. But J.J. Watt raised like millions of dollars,
right?
For like relief funds on that, just on his own. I thought that was really cool.
That was like the first big thing he did that got a lot of publicity.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see them doing stuff like that. And I had never heard of this basketball player. I'm not huge on the NBA.
Me neither.
But I just watched an ESPN when I was at the barbershop actually, and it showed him like destroying LeBron in that game, or at least that's how it looked to me in the highlight reel I saw.
He's really good. He's like he's a really good player. He's young and stuff, and of course LeBron is older now. But I love LeBron to death. But there's young talent in there now.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's the way it goes.
Well, LeBron is. I mean, you got to look at. What was it? Just the other day, they were saying everyone was talking about how bad Tom Brady was playing.
Yeah.
Same thing. Everyone knows he's the GOAT, but he's getting older. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
And LeBron is still definitely a presence. Top 5 player in the NBA right now.
For sure.
And I saw actually it's funny because everyone talks badly about Carmelo Anthony, but I saw he just got like NBA Player of the Week or something.
Yeah.
That was kind of big
There's still older guys that do it.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Tom Brady though.
Stop it. Put some respect on his name. So what was the next story we had to stray away from sports?
Oh yeah, so so when it comes for me as I'm a big like movie person and like TV show person, so entertainment wise, like I thought it was really cool and something that I've been looking forward to, especially us we're also big gaming nerds as well.
Right.
But
we were just playing before you came
so
over.
for those of you who don't know, like I said, we're big gaming nerds, but we both play a game, and I'm sure you guys have too. It was like you said earlier, we were talking about it. It was one of the greatest games ever made. That type of thing, you know. But the Witcher series, Witcher 3 was a game that we really loved to play. Yeah. I liked playing the first two as well, but
a lot of people say it'll go down to be the best RPG ever made,
yeah.
which is hard to believe with the like Elder Scrolls game and stuff like that. It was like this game came out of nowhere. 1 and 2 were good, but 3 was like
really good.
It's still when you go to the Microsoft Store
on
Xbox, it's still the number one. If you go to high rated games, it's still the number one.
I've gone through that game. There's 2 games that I've done that to. It's Skyrim is one, and then The Witcher 3, which I've played probably 4 or 5 times, just gone through and just done different endings each time and stuff. It's really cool.
And I never played it all the way through. I've opened it, and that could be testament to how good it was.
Yeah. I still have it downloaded and installed and everything.
Because I haven't. The game was a little. I kind of started getting out of RPG games for the most part, and that game was just a little overwhelming. Mm-hmm. You know, I like to play multiplayer-based games now.
Yeah.
And I got on that, and I quickly saw. The reviews said one thing, the trailers, the people I saw watch said one thing. When I got onto it and realized how much there actually was to do, because I was always the kind of person that wanted to do everything. And when the games weren't quite that big, I think Skyrim was the first game where I was like, I can't do everything.
Yeah, and Skyrim was, that game was, that's how it was when it first came out. And then all of a sudden it was, they had games like Witcher come out that kind of, it took Skyrim was maybe a 30 gig game, but then nowadays games are coming out 80 gigs and stuff,
and then
so
they're dropping like 15 gigabyte updates on them and all that stuff. Speaking of gaming, while we're on the topic, you actually told me, I wasn't aware of it, that today is it today?
Yeah, today is PlayStation's 25th anniversary.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
because I remember playing the PS1
today as well.
I remember playing the PS1 and my brother Trenton destroying the PlayStation because he would like where the disc went in. It was also one of the first consoles that had discs, I think. Might have been the first. Yeah. When you opened it up, that little gray box that it had like the 2 buttons on the corners and it flipped up. Yeah. And he like wrote inside the disc reader with like a marker. Yeah. Destroyed it. That's probably why I don't own a single disc game anymore. I just don't.
I don't
bad
trust
blood.
it.
So that's neat because I remember playing a ton of games growing up on PS1, PS2. I mean, heck, one of the things that got me in RPGs was my grandfather played all the Final Fantasies.
Oh, yeah.
And so as a kid, I'd sat there and watched them. And he had all the books that go through them, and Final Fantasy was sweet.
Yeah.
Now they're remastering all of them, but a ton of huge... And even now, a lot of people... We're both Xbox players. I love Xbox. I'll probably never change over.
Yeah.
But there are a ton of people going PlayStation because of all the exclusives they have.
Yeah.
They have a ton of exclusives. Yeah. God of War was a huge game.
Yep.
Last of Us was one of the biggest games ever.
Yeah.
And they're coming out with a second one of that.
Yep.
So
see that I first started playing PlayStation originally.
I remember.
And then, I just played it because MLB The Show was a PlayStation like a PlayStation exclusive game. Mm-hmm. But then, all my friends like you and a couple other people, they all played Xbox. I'm like, well, I have nobody to play with, so I'm gonna get an Xbox, and that's when we got an Xbox forever.
Right.
But so I mean, it's PlayStation 25 years old. That's kind of cool when you think about it.
It's definitely. Oh, and it has that. Before we get off of it, it has that. The Stranding, what's it called? Stranding something. It's the game that has what's his name from The Walking Dead in it.
Oh yeah, it's the
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
I think that's
it's like you're a UPS guy or something, isn't it? Aren't you like delivering packages in some sort of weird game like that?
No.
I swear I've seen someone.
This is a huge. It's like a crazy. Like in the trailers and stuff, people playing, you can't really understand what's happening. It shows like him with like a baby. Holding a baby, and all of a sudden, like, the baby disappears, and someone has him in, like, a tank on their backpack in, like, Nazi Germany, like, while there's, like, a world... It's, like, something to do with, like, parallel universes and, like, different dimensions and stuff. It's crazy. I think it's called Death Stranding.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen, like, some streamers play it, so, I mean, I wasn't really sure, but, I don't know what games are what nowadays.
Right.
To be honest with you, but the thing that I was gonna mention before when we were talking about games originally was which I am really looking forward to, December 20th. Back to the Witcher thing. That they're coming out with a Netflix series, and it starts on December 20th.
I forgot all about that. That was the reason we had the story.
That was the whole reason, yeah. But on December 20th it starts, and you can't, once you get going, it's hard to stop. And I can't wait for it. It's going to star. It stars. His name's Henry Cavill. That's how you pronounce his name. A lot of people say it differently, but he's the guy who played Superman and all the like the Justice League and the Batman vs Superman. He's the newest Superman guy, he's playing a lot of other stuff too. But he plays Geralt, which is the main character. But I'm really excited for that, man. They say it's gotten a lot of good reviews so far. It hasn't even been released yet to Netflix, but
it has to be good. They can't mess that up. Not a series that's so loved. I mean, in the gaming community, to relate, it's almost like as loved as like The Walking Dead or Game of Thrones is to like TV community. It's that big. So now that they're bringing that over, it has to be huge. So that's sweet. What else do we have? We did the we want to show you guys a picture. We'll pop up. It was a story. It was the wildfires in Australia, right?
Oh yeah. So you guys heard about those? I mean, they've been going on, I think, since September. Excuse me. Getting over our cold, but Australia's had these wildfires that have been going on since like September, October, something like that, and they're just continuously going on. I don't know, really. It's sad to hear. It sucks because we get wildfires, not here where we are, but wildfires in like California a lot,
which we have this year.
Yeah. But,
and over there, it's just the vast
wildlife
too.
Yeah, that. To be honest with you, I don't remember for as long as I've been alive, which I know isn't that long, but I don't remember ever hearing about a wildfire in California lasting this long as what's been going on in Australia. And all the wildlife that's down there, because that place is just full of wildlife everywhere. Honestly, 100 different things can kill you down there. Right. So be a nice place to go and visit. I'd love to, but yeah. So there was these wildfires that are going on, and I'm sure you guys have seen the famous videos and all over the news of the older woman who literally pulled a koala bear from like a burning tree. And it had burn marks all over it, and she saved this koala bear from the fires. But it came out like last week. I ended up seeing a news article. It was kind of sad, but the koala bear ended up passing away. And I thought that was like you hate to see that stuff. I hate when animals die. I'm a big softie when it comes to animals. So I just thought that was something that you guys would want to know if you guys haven't already found out. But yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. I just realized that I had messed up and I didn't prepare our memes of the week. So we will have to do that next time.
I don't know.
But that's okay, because I mean we're already almost at 20 minutes.
Yeah. And
that's pretty long for what we normally have here on the show. And the episodes are going to be longer like this normally. But this is our first test run. We're almost double the length of our longest episode, so it'll be interesting when it comes to editing and uploading and all that kind of stuff. And then next week, for sure, we will definitely do memes, because I had Corey, excuse me, he texted me, because again, I asked for feedback from everybody, as you guys know, and a lot of people had a lot of kind things to say. People had critical things to say to help us out, and I appreciate all that. Corey, one of his things was, hey, podcast was sweet. By the way, I'll be sending you your memes of the week now. Okay. And I did have some funny ones, and I think maybe they weren't the best memes, but it was just the way I twisted them. But he said, it's because I don't have iFunny. And he has iFunny. It's like the...
See, I don't know.
It's an app you get on the iPhone that...
gives you all memes.
Yeah, it's called iFunny. It's a ton of funny stuff. It's not all just memes. Some of it's just like really controversial stuff. But he sent me like 7... memes, and they were all hilarious. Every single one. And so I'm like, okay, we'll do this. And he sent them to me, and I forgot to add them in, but that's okay. We'll build up. We'll do a longer segment on it next week. Are you going to be on next week?
Yeah, I'll be on next week.
Okay, cool. And it'll probably come out the same day. I'm thinking we'll record it on Tuesday night, because tonight is Tuesday, and then we'll upload it probably Wednesday.
Yeah.
With this long of a video, I don't think I'm going to be able to crunch in all the editing and upload it in the same day.
Yeah.
So...
It's a lot of work this guy goes, and a lot of work goes into this. I got to see firsthand what he's been going through prior to starting the show. So
it's funny how, as of right now, as everybody knows, this is kind of low budget, not the best quality show. It's starting. And it took me, I kept having, and I told you all in the intro video, I kept hitting speed bumps and wouldn't get started. And it's interesting how when you look at a show like this and you think like, oh, I whipped that together in 10 minutes and uploaded it. And honestly, it's opposite. When you have a nice studio and you have crazy editing and the best lighting and the best cameras and the best, it all becomes so much easier.
Yeah, it's easier
because most of the people that can afford that kind of set have 2 or 3 editors.
Yeah.
They send the video to, and in 2 hours it's back to them, doctored up, cut, slimline, great, perfect, and they upload it, and that's all they do. And doing everything and trying to work with what we have, it's almost like a DIY studio, and this still is not the studio. We're not even in the same room, as you saw from the intro episode and the first 2 episodes.
We're still figuring things out.
Yeah, so we need to doctor up that studio and get it out. So the setting will constantly change. Giraffes will not always be here, but we figured we'd test the waters on the giraffes, see what you
guys thought about it.
See what kind of audience they were. Kind of a tough crowd. They haven't said much. And so maybe since we didn't do memes of the week, you all can just make memes out of us.
There you go.
Probably my resting face halfway in the video, where I just was staring off into the water as you were talking.
Yeah.
Make a meme out of us and let me know on Facebook.
Smelly memes for me,
Yeah, since people perceive me as
smelly.
A smelly hat. That's interesting. I just had Rebecca smell my gloves today, my winter gloves. I was like, these smell like gloves that I've worn for 3 years, because I've had them for 3 years. And she smelled them and she was like, it's bad.
Like, opened them up and smelled the inside?
No. I just held it up to her hand. Oh. I think I've opened up her horizon on doing things like that, because she smell my shoe.
Okay.
Like before, she probably would never do that. But like, it's also, I'm very pressuring with stuff like that. It's weird. Like if I want her to like try something, she's very like, that doesn't look good, or I've had that one time 10 years ago and it didn't taste good, and I'm like, try this right now or else you're paying for dinner. Like, I'm very pressuring. She hates it, but it's how I get her to explore life. It's my job.
Yeah.
So anyways, we didn't have a ton of stories, but I wanted this episode to be more about introducing Juice anyways. I think the audio is going to be messed up too. We got to figure that out. I'm probably just going to get a second mic, so forgive me on that. Forgive us on that, I should say. So I think that's going to do it. Next week we'll have more stories. We'll have memes, which I know a lot of people look forward to, so I feel kind of crappy that I didn't prepare those. But we just had a ton to figure out with it being the first episode with him being on. The differences in the audio,
my fault.
Stuff like that. Everything's his fault. He's a smelly hat. So, with that being said, I think we're just going to wrap it up here. See what we can do with the editing, upload it, get it out to you guys by tomorrow night. And then next week, now that we have something to look back on, so forgive the quality if it's bad, forgive the audio if it's bad, just forgive us, please. Next week, we'll get better for sure. I think we're just going to wrap it up there then.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, episode 4 coming next week. And until then, stay buzzed in.